leadership.
When you tell us it's all right and you unleash us and you tell us you're ready for us to have this conversation, we're ready to have the conversation. When you let us know it is time to let go, we'll let go.
The Congressional Black Caucus must meet immediately with the President of the United States of America.
Well, I'm joined now by MSNBC contributor, journalist, and publisher Karen Hunter, and by Robert Traynham, Washington bureau chief for the Comcast Network and host of Roll Call TV with Robert Traynham. Good morning to both of you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
You know, Karen, I talked to folks who were at that meeting last night, and it apparently got very, very raucous. I mean, they've reached, it looks like, at least in that room, the edge. You heard what Maxine Waters and John Conyers had to say. What's going on here?
Frustration. I mean, when you're looking at 16.2% unemployment in your community and you don't see any way out, yeah, that what you're seeing right there is the height of frustration. Something has to be done, and it has to be done now.
Well, done now. He's talking about September. He's talking about putting a plan forward in September. He's talking about giving a speech in September. Is it too late?
No, it's not too late. And the president absolutely has to make this his job number one to get jobs into the economy. But, you know, there's something a little bit posturing about what went on yesterday. And there's something, you know, a little bit inauthentic about these folks who are now calling for the president to step up. Where have they been all of these years? And truthfully, you know, these are the people who are going to make it happen in these communities, and they haven't done anything. So don't put it all on the president.
All right, Robert, let me play for you another clip from Maxine Waters. Kind of sums up some of the frustration. Let's play it.
Our people are hurting.
Yes,
the unemployment is unconscionable.
Yes,
we don't know what the strategy is. We don't know why on this trip that he's in the United States now, he's not in any black communities. We don't know that.
Are you surprised that the president is going where he's going, or from a political standpoint? I mean, going through the Midwest, a place where he had so much support and was able to win back in 2008. Does he need to get into the black community, Robert?
To answer your first question, no, I'm not surprised. Look, if you take a look at the polling data, President Obama is trailing the Republican generic ballot for rural white voters. And where do rural white voters live? They live in the Midwest. They live in Iowa. They live in Michigan. They live in Pennsylvania, which ironically are battleground states. So it's not by chance that the president is going there. And to your second point, you know, the African-American community has every right to be upset with this president, to be frustrated and to be angry. To use Karen's words, not only are they frustrated, but they're very, very angry. You know, regardless of whether the presidents are black or white, or regardless of whether the unemployed are black or white, people need jobs, and not just any old job. They need good paying quality jobs. People feel squeezed. And you know, the average unemployment rate for African Americans is about 16.2%. But when you go into Detroit, when you go into Philadelphia, when you go into Los Angeles, when you go in certain parts of Manhattan, it's at 20 or 30%. And so not only do people have to be upset not only with the president, but also with congressional Republicans and Democrats, because when they turn on the television set, all they see is bickering. All they see is fighting. All they see is political posturing. They don't see results. And that's where the president and that's where Republicans and Democrats need to roll up their sleeves and get the job done.
You know, to your point, Karen, when you talk about, you know, sort of a little bit of posturing there was also some discussion about a level of concern about the Congressional Black Caucus going after the first black president, and Maxine Waters talked to that. Let me play just one more little clip.
You're very proud to have a black man.
Yes, we are.
First time in the history of the United States of America. If we go after the president too hard, you going after us. Hey!
Please.
You're not buying it?
No, because the bottom line is you serve your constituents, and as long as you're bringing home the bacon for them, they don't really care. You know, at the end of the day, this president is the president of these United States, not of black America.
But
and while
he has had, even with 16% unemployment, 90% plus approval in the black community.
70, and now
they have stood by him. And I wonder, again, from a political perspective, if you're trying to figure out how you schedule him on the course of a very busy campaign, do you say, hey, are these guys going to go and vote for You know, Rick Perry? Are they going to?
No, they're going to do worse. They're going to sit home, and they're not going to vote at all. You know, and that's the big problem. He should spread it around and show that he definitely cares for these communities that are being hit harder than anybody else in this country. He should have gone through Detroit. He should go through some of the hard-hit areas that are black-dominated. But at the end of the day, you know, I agree with you. I think he's going to have a problem with people sitting home, and that's going to be the biggest problem, is energizing folks to believe in him, or else we're just going to.
Yeah, let's remember how many new people he brought to the polls, how many independents he brought to the polls, and that's what won it for him in 2008. Robert Trainum, Karen Hunter, thanks to both of you.